Hello everybody, welcome back. Let's have a look at some of these coins across the board then, shall we? Rather than focusing specifically on one, I'm going to have a look at a handful of some of our favourites. And if there's any that you really want me to look at, send me a comment below and we'll add that to the list for next time. So what's been going on then, shall we? Have a look at Bitcoin first. But before we do, the dominance is rocketing, and you probably don't need me to tell you that. Dominance is looking very strong. Are we reaching a peak though at the moment? Maybe, and maybe we might find a little bit of movement from some of these alts which have sunk so incredibly low that these buybacks down at these levels are just, they seem so appealing. But the problem being is that Bitcoin looks as though it might be having a double top, and we'll have a look at that in a moment. So there's still a great deal of uncertainty when it comes to buying alts, even though they're very, very, very low in value. The chances are they'll find a small rally now, but I'm no financial advisor, so don't take my word for it. The Bitcoin dominance, let's have a look, and now, even though I think that might come down ever so slightly and alts will have a rally, as we were saying yesterday, the dollar is one of the things probably the most important thing that we need to look at now to work out if we're going to have any kind of continued move after this, what looks like perhaps a potential top of 10,900 for Bitcoin, and it's coming down further. I mean, we're on the 4-hourly charts. It's ever so slightly still bearish. It looks like it wants to come down further. So does it on the daily. So it looks as though before, by the end of the day, we'll continue with these rallies. Things don't look too bad for the general financial markets, crypto, commodities, trading against the dollar. Even in the UK, where we've got this whole Brexit business going on, the pound is still doing okay for itself because the dollar's so weak. So that said, let's have a look at the crypto then, shall we? So, like I say, just continuing from what we were saying yesterday, last night, if the dollar goes down, crypto goes up. If the dollar goes up, crypto goes down. Well, we didn't anticipate was such a large dump for alts, but hey, what can I say? Bitcoin finding its way, and this makes more sense on a lower time frame. We'll look at 4 hourly, a potential double top area here and here. That was a big rejection here, and we found ourselves basically being rejected there again. Are we going to come down from this, or is this going to come back down again? Basically, the way it's looking at the moment on the 4 hourly is it looks relatively strong, and lots of areas of support beneath us. So if we did come down, there's plenty of opportunity for it to bounce back up. Will it continue to go up though? That's the point. And in order to work that one out, we need to see at least a 4 hour, I'd say, preferably for me a longer time frame than that, maybe a 12 to a daily candle body close above this level. Basically what we want to do is get as close to 11,000 as possible, but above 10,950. Closing above there should have continuation back into the 11,000s and beyond. The weekly looks relatively good in the sense of the moving averages, but the MACD was hanging in the balance. So there is, obviously, we're only halfway through the week, less than that really, because the week ends on Sunday night. So there's plenty of opportunity for this to make that cross, but as it stands at the moment, it looks as though it wants to recover. So on the daily, what do we see? We see ourselves basically pushing above all major moving averages, and there's only this the 50 simple above us. Fresh cross on the daily. It looks okay, to be honest with you. It looks okay. It's just this double top that's reasonably scary, but it's not that bad because there's so much support beneath us that if we did come back down from here, there's no major area of super rejection, not like this one here, that could cause a massive dump. So let's move on to some of these other coins then, shall we? We'll have a look at XRP. So XRP coming back down to test that 200 exponential moving average last night, and then a big wick buyback up. XRP, like I was saying, is reasonably strong despite popular belief that it's a terrible coin. I understand what you're saying when you compare it to other coins, but you need to have a look at my video about the 4-year cycle for XRP, and then you'll understand what's going on. I'll leave a link just above, somewhere above my head somewhere, there'll be a link for you to click. That's about the 4-year XRP cycle, and that should put it into perspective for you. But as far as small time frames are concerned, we're battling this level of support, and if we break down from here, it would be a 20 cent or maybe a little lower, but that area should get bought back up again. But it's being tested many times, and being rejected, I should say, also on the 10 exponential. So we're being squeezed, and the way that it's looking now is that with this facing down, roughly we will find ourselves in some kind of descending wedge formation, and it'll have to break one way or the other, whether that's to the down or to the up. That will take us towards the end of this month. A couple of weeks actually, no, less than that. About 10 days time. That the move will have played out as essentially a wedge formation, roughly and crudely drawn in like that. That's not really how you're supposed to do it. It was just to give you an idea that what's going on there is that we're battling between these two moving averages, the ultimate support and the first level of where we're being rejected from, first resistance level being rejected from, and reclaiming basically this peachy orange colour there. That's the 10 exponential. Reclaiming that should then hopefully get continuation. We'll need it to face upwards, obviously, but it should reclaim that. Now, looking at the MACD, we're lagging behind Bitcoin. We don't yet have that cross. We're in bearish territory, but it's not looking too bad. And actually, the RSI is ever so slightly slowly snaking its way up, making what could be considered an accumulation phase, and I don't think it's such a bad looking chart in all fairness on the short-term time frames. But again, a very small trading range is the basic what we're in, and each one of these trading ranges, whichever way it gets broken, if it gets broken to the up, that's really bullish. If it gets broken to the down, that's really bearish. So it's not really worth trading it at the moment because we're in such a small trading range and it's descending, so it's just getting smaller and smaller every day until it decides which way it wants to go. And because everything's balancing on the dollar, and Bitcoin basically looks like it might be reaching a temporary top, it's probably best to leave it alone, and probably best to leave most of this stuff alone in all fairness. Let's have a look at SXP. So SXP took out our support of last night. I don't know why that's been like that. So we took out our support level last night, which is roughly about, it's a bit higher than that there, and now we're closing candles beneath it. So does this mean that it's going to go lower? It could actually mean that, yes, it definitely could mean that. But the MACD does not look like it wants to make any effort to recover quite so soon. In fact, the MACD also looks flat as a pancake. So, I'm not saying that this is a dead coin or anything, but what I am saying is that it's definitely consolidating after a giant move. This move here was big, but the move that it had prior to that, before it even came onto Binance, was even bigger. Hang on a minute, just have a quick sip of tea. Sorry, busy day, so I've got to try and do everything in one go. So this one again, it doesn't look too good at the moment, and now that we've broken down beneath that support layer, we're going to have to work out if there's any kind of formation that could be had for this. In fact, while we're here, let me try and draw in a pitchfork to see if there's any levels that we can go by. We'll start off with wicks and see if there's any trend to that. There's certainly no trend there, and there's not really much point in trying any other way. But I'll try it with just the candle bodies. I don't think this one's going to work in any way, shape or form. No, there's nothing to go by on this level here. We could put this in to see if this continues. That looks as though it could offer up some kind of movement, but if it does, it's not looking very good at all, is it? It's looking very bearish. We'll keep that in to see how it goes. It's very early days on this one. Supports here, supports down here, and then breaking out this pitchfork should suggest that it'll look okay. But for the moment, I'd stay away from this one, even though the prices might be tempting at this level. I'd wait until we see some kind of change, especially with dominance, and like I say, I do think that Bitcoin may have reached its top temporarily. So that would basically involve coins coming down even more than they are already. And I know that might sound hard to digest that, because there's a lot of pain has already been felt. I think there could quite easily be more pain across the board for alts, and if Bitcoin does dump from this level, then yeah, it would be pretty significant. Matic, we looked at this one last night, and I did say that it looks as though it's reached its top, and it certainly did, and it's come back down, and it actually crashed pretty dramatically. What was that from the top to the bottom there? There was a 13.5% move. And what else did I say? You'll have to check the video. I'm sure none of you watched it, but if you did watch it, what I said was I think it's had its time, it's finished its level now. It's going to come back down to this support zone. This support zone is extremely strong, so any wicks beneath here will be bought straight back up, and on our first attempt to break down beneath it, we sunk into it and we got bought straight back up again. So we're stuck within that boring old Matic range of between 1.85 cent and 2 cent, and we spent a lot of time in here, a long time in here basically, and that's where we're going to be probably for a little while. Breaking down beneath there, always a good opportunity to buy back, because it's like our magnet gets drawn back into this area, very strong beneath this level here. The way I see it is that even though there's technically not any realistic supports down here, it's like there's like a magnetic force that just sucks it back into this basic level of support and resistance. So that's how I would treat Matic. I would not really want to get involved above 2 cent for the moment, because the rest of the market looks pretty nasty. But getting in there at the bottom of this level here, 1.85 cent or lower, and then trading that back up to 2 cent should be okay. And of course, every time it goes down lower and gets brought back in, there's a chance that the market turns around and it continues up. So Matic at these levels, I think this is where we're going to be for a little while now, to be honest with you. Just from what I can see with the rest of the way that the market's going, I'm not seeing any quick turnaround at the moment for alts. And finally, let's have a look at what happened. BNB, you went crazy, and now look at the state of you. The chart's still actually holding its formation quite well, so buying at these levels could be okay. There's been a lot go on for BNB fundamentally, so there's been a lot of reason for this growth, but it's basically blew its top off, and now it's come back down to basically test and then crash down beneath, but gets sucked back above the 10 exponential, which is still good because it's still showing it's got a decent chart formation. But that was a significant drop for a top cap altcoin like that. We were talking over a few days, over 3 days, we lost almost 23% of our value. That would have been an epic short. It would have been a tragic hold. But whatever it is, it's still holding its chart formation up better than most. Am I saying get involved now? I'm not a financial advisor, so I can't really say that. But it doesn't look too bad because we're still above the 10 exponential. So as far as alts are concerned, BNB actually still looks good despite having that massive drop. It still actually looks okay. Is it one of those times where you should be buying blood? Possibly. But, like I say, you've got to understand that Bitcoin might be reaching a local top at the moment, and then having a pullback, and a pullback could bring it back down to around 10,600 or so, if it happened today. And it could obviously come down further than that, but I don't think it is. It's looking reasonably strong, and so long as this dollar continues its leg down, probably close to around 92, then yeah, I think we've got every chance that Bitcoin tries to make another leg up and breaks above that that resistance. And if we do, then that'll be great. But if we don't, then unfortunately it will be taking more legs down. But that is the situation at the moment. Bitcoin looking bullish, alts looking like opportunities to buy the large dips, but not really looking to buy and hold for a great deal of time. Basically just buying those big dips and then selling, not getting too greedy on them. And that's how I would treat this. So if you're looking to trade the alts, the way I'm going to be doing it, if I'm able to time it correctly, is I'll be buying the original dumps and then selling on the buybacks. Simple as that, really. Nice and simple. Anyway, I'm going to leave it with you there. Thank you for watching. I have a nice day. Take it easy, and check out some of my other videos of a different nature. They're still crypto related, clearly, but they're a bit more of an in-depth fundamental look at some other coins. Have a nice day. Take it easy.